airline staff who I have spoken to, who dealt with Meghan Markle, who directly served Meghan Markle on long-haul flights, have told me directly that she was a complete to them, that she treated the staff absolutely appallingly.
Harry and Meghan just heartless bullies when it comes to their staff members.
Meghan Markle puts this woman up to do this, gives her a handwritten note, because we of course know that Princess Diana used to be a huge she used to handwrite notes, thank you notes all the time, and thank letters. So even in that, she has to copy Princess Diana. It's quite creepy, actually, you know.
Meghan Markle just got exposed to the entire world as a liar and as a bitch after her rumored stage PR stunt backfired. And now reports are coming out about just how awful Meghan is to her staff members. Allegedly, this has been going on for so long that multiple members of her staff members required counseling after working for her. And one time, she was so rude to a staff member that the late Queen Elizabeth had to step in and stop Meghan. Guys, you better be seated for this one, because this tea is hot and messy.
Disgusting. It was at that point that a palace official had to ask Harry and Meghan, hey, speak to staff more understandingly. And Meghan replied, it's not my job to coddle people.
Okay, let's talk about what's really going on here, because the Meghan Markle flight attendant story just took a wild turn. And now the internet is in full speculation mode. So here's how it all started. A flight attendant named Nina Vida hopped on TikTok with what seemed like a heartwarming tale. According to her, she had the pleasure of serving Meghan Markle on a recent American Airlines flight.
You guys will not believe who I just had on my flight, who I had a pleasure of serving. The Queen, the Princess, the Duchess of Sussex? The Meghan Markle was on my flight, and she's so beautiful in person.
She described the Duchess as so sweet and so beautiful in person, and even shared that Meghan left a handwritten note to the crew thanking them for their service. Sounds charming, right? Almost too charming. Vida went on to gush over Meghan's cursive handwriting, saying it was giving rich, giving expensive, giving princess, and even claimed Meghan complimented her intense nails, which apparently a pilot had criticized. And to top it off, Meghan reportedly replied to a note from the crew with her own message written on a napkin, signing it with, "All love right back to you, as ever, Meghan." Now cue the Diana comparisons. Because, of course, the media started spinning this as a just like Princess Diana moment, poised, personal, and gracious. And with Meghan's ongoing efforts to draw parallels between herself and the late princess, the whole narrative fit a little too perfectly. But here's where the plot thickens. Not long after the story blew up, it began to fall apart. Reports began surfacing that Nina Vida had allegedly retracted her statements, claiming she had never actually met Meghan Markle at all. Wait, what? So now we're all asking, was the whole thing a fabrication, a PR stunt, or just a case of someone chasing clout on TikTok? The internet is divided. Some believe it was an innocent mix-up or a creative exaggeration gone too far. Others think this might have been a deliberate attempt to polish Meghan's image. The carefully curated moment is designed to show her as relatable, grounded, and oh so Diana-esque. And the timing, let's just say it's interesting. Meghan and Harry have been quietly re-entering the public eye with new projects, brand partnerships, and high-profile appearances. So, a viral story of Meghan being sweet to airline staff, that's a PR dream until it starts to unravel. Now, with conflicting accounts and the original TikTok creator apparently stepping back from her claims, everyone's left wondering, was Meghan Markle really on that flight? Did the napkin note ever exist? Or is this just another layer in the increasingly complicated image war surrounding the Duchess of Sussex? Because what started as a cute little TikTok moment has now exploded into a full-on media circus, and not in a good way. What was meant to be a feel-good story about Meghan Markle flying commercial and leaving a sweet handwritten napkin note has turned into a messy PR saga full of holes, backlash, and serious questions. So here's the tea. Major outlets like Page Six jumped at the chance to paint Markle as a humble royal flying with the rest of us commoners. No private jet, just your average American Airlines seat, thanking the crew with a note that screamed Princess Diana vibes. The story was framed like Meghan was this graceful, grounded duchess spreading love and gratitude at 30,000 feet, but not everyone was buying it. Enter the critics, and they are not playing. They're calling out the media, especially Page Six, for pushing a narrative without doing the homework. Page Six ran with the TikTok video from flight attendant Nina Vita, who claimed Meghan was so sweet and loved her nails, but as the story gained traction, questions started flying faster than the plane itself. Let's start with the stock photo disaster. One of the biggest red flags, a 2016 image of Markle was published as if it were taken during the actual flight. That's right, a 7-year-old photo recycled to prop up a story that might not have even happened. People are accusing Page Six of deliberately misleading readers, and it's not a cute look. This kind of manipulation doesn't just make the outlet look shady, it seriously damages trust in celebrity journalism. And let's not forget, sharing personal details about a VIP passenger, that's a major no-no in the airline world. American Airlines has strict privacy policies, and while Nina Vita's TikTok might have been cute to some, it could have very well been a fireable offense. The backlash hit hard and fast, and soon after, Vita reportedly backtracked on her claims altogether. So now, the million-dollar question: did this encounter ever even happen? Or was it all part of a bigger strategy? Critics say Markle's choice to fly commercial wasn't some noble people's duchess move, it was a necessity. With financial strains rumored to be creeping in, some believe this commercial flight was less about humility and more about keeping up appearances. And if that's true, then the handwritten note, the napkin, the Diana-style narrative, it all feels a little too perfectly packaged, and nobody was buying it. Just take a look at some comments from people online once she got exposed. Meghan just keeps making bad publicity for herself. Liars are dumb. She's so stupid she thinks everyone will believe anything she puts out there. The handwritten note. She knows her well? Why wasn't your HRH note to your friend Jamie Kern-Lima handwritten? It was typed out. Such a fraud. OMG, no way would a supposed flight attendant post this. Talk about a Meghan Markle production. 1, it's beyond ridiculous to think she would put someone's privacy, so 2, if she did, then Megsy was absolutely behind the scenes as the cough producer. LOL, damn, she is too obvious and eager. I mean, that woman is thirsty for fame and money. It's all about the dollars, folks. Lies, lies, and more lies. Meghan Markle's commercial flight hoax exposed. Flight attendant now denies it. Where was Prince Harry and the bodyguards? Shocking how this woman lies.
So there are more questions than answers that are coming out of this. But this is insane, the lies, the lies, the lies, the lies. And Page Six, you just got busted. I don't ask for very much. I mean, if you're gonna lie, can you please do it so well that we don't know we've been lied to? Or at least use people that are more convincing, because if this is the kind of people that American Airlines is employing, don't forget that Meghan Markle is Mrs. Privacy. Rachel Meghan Markle is privacy.
Now, this controversy is shining a light on Meghan's wider image issues, because not too long ago, news broke about just how mean Meghan was treating her staff. According, an article from Vanity Fair exposed Meghan's post-palace life, and it painted anything but a fairy tale. Instead, it reveals a high-stakes PR war, internal turmoil, and Meghan, whose Hollywood dreams are colliding hard with real-world consequences. According to multiple sources, Meghan's alleged behavior behind closed doors was not only difficult, but for some, psychologically damaging. Team members working on her Spotify podcast Archetypes reportedly took leaves of absence, quit, or entered long-term therapy after their experience. One source put it bluntly, "You don't tell Meghan and Harry no. I left because I couldn't live with myself anymore." Another insider added that Meghan was adept at reading the room, not to connect with people, but to control them. She's constantly playing checkers, and when you are not in, you are to be thrown to the wolves. These new revelations echo earlier bullying allegations made during her time at Kensington Palace, accusations Meghan has always firmly denied. But the emotional toll described by staff at Spotify and other media partners suggests a pattern that's difficult to ignore. You see, during a menu tasting session at Windsor Castle in 2018, Meghan allegedly clashed with catering staff after detecting egg in a dish she believed should have been vegan and macrobiotic. And then, in a moment now etched into royal lore, Queen Elizabeth reportedly intervened, saying, "Meghan, in this family, we don't speak to people like that." It was a rare glimpse into the Queen's behind-the-scenes role as both a matriarch and manager, stepping in when royal tempers rose too high. Now, the wedding wasn't the last time Meghan's treatment of staff allegedly drew concern. While living at Frogmore Cottage near Windsor, Meghan reportedly upset an undergardener so severely that the head gardener went straight to the Queen. The Queen, according to royal historian Hugo Vickers, didn't hesitate driving over herself to deliver a personal reprimand. She obviously didn't like people being rude to staff, Vickers noted. Perhaps most damning is the now infamous term reportedly used within palace circles, the Sussex Survivors Club. According to Daily Mail, royal editor Rebecca English, the nickname refers to former employees who lived to tell the tale of working for the Sussexes. Among them, Melissa Tuabti, Meghan's personal assistant, resigned just 6 months after the royal wedding. One account suggests she was verbally berated over the color of personalized blankets ordered for a Sandringham event. Described as hugely talented, she was allegedly left traumatized by her time with Meghan. Jason Knauf, then communications secretary, took the unprecedented step of formally emailing concerns to Prince William's office. He cited bullying behavior and said 2 PAs were forced out of the household. He added, "The Duchess seems intent on always having someone in her sights." An internal investigation was later launched by Buckingham Palace. However, its findings notably were never publicly released, leaving many to wonder whether the issue was quietly buried to protect the royal brand. To Meghan's defenders, these stories reflect a woman used to high standards and direct communication qualities, often rebranded as difficult when displayed by women in power. Her supporters argue that she has been targeted in a toxic media environment from day one. But for critics and former insiders, the stories have a common theme: excessive demands, public dressing downs, and a pattern of emotional fallout. Some even suggest that the Duchess's approach may have alienated staff to the point of breakdown. Behind the pageantry and designer dresses, a darker narrative continues to emerge, one not of fairy tales, but of fractured relationships, wounded aides, and a queen trying to hold it all together from the shadows. So the question remains, was Meghan merely misunderstood in a rigid institution, or does a consistent pattern of turmoil suggest something more troubling beneath the surface? Let me know your opinions in the comments. And don't forget to check out our other videos to ensure you are all up to date with all the latest tea. Till next time, bye.